Check. 1 2 1 2. Vader Games in the building. You know what it is. You know how we do this. Why always me? Episode 82. 82 in the building. Thank you for tuning in. If you happen to be in the comments and you hear anything off with regards to the sound, please let me know. Happy to be here. And it's been a minute. Thank you. It's been a minute. Be patient with me with regards to this. Got to get back into the groove of things. It's been a little hectic recently. Work, family, life, all of it. But we're back. You see what I'm going through. It's got the platinums coming through, but the platinums aren't on both sides. I'm right-handed. I don't know what's going on here, but we're back. Okay, first things first. My peoples come first. My peoples, thank you. Those of you in the comment, those of you watching after on a rerun, and those of you tuning in for the first time, please do what you got to do. This is YouTube. Hit the like button, please. Let me see you in the comments. And if you're watching this not live, let me see you in the comments nonetheless. I do respond to them, and I'm happy to see all of you right now. If you're here because of the tweet that I put out, thank you. If you're here because of the YouTube notification, fantastic. You see what's going on here. You see what's happening. Everton, most important game for many reasons, and we're going to tackle that. And on top of that, we're going to deal with the topics that you see right there. It was a fantastic week. Fantastic week. We got to go through this. We got to deal with it because maybe you're going to hear something different from me that you may not have heard from others. So we're going to do that today. Trust me on that one. The weather is nice. Just yesterday, I brought out the yellow Jays. I was looking crispy with my Steelers hat on. Today, we repping with the blue. So let's do this properly. Let me recognize the first in the building. And this week, it happens to be my guy, FIFA in the building. Thank you. I see what you got there, FIFA. I'm not saying it. We know what that is. Let me deal with these comments, and we're going to do things properly. We could end up with... Yo, Blue Heart in the building. Dre P, Great Point City need the winning feeling to continue to end and can do without needing to win the Prem on the last day. We're going to handle our business. Things are nice. Daniel Bader, my guy. Flames, alarms, Blue Heart, studying fluid UCL helped massively. We didn't panic after going one down. No, we didn't, Daniel. No, we did not. We had a game plan, and we're going to talk about it. We're going to talk about it with regards to these topics. Trust me, Daniel. Blue, really enjoyed getting my free thumbs up. Yes, get it in. Thank you. It is free. So you like the show on the regular? Hit that thumbs up. You're here new. If I do something, even the crowd itself, those in the chat, you happen to enjoy it, hit that thumbs up. Please do that. Blue Heart also goes, good evening, Vader and everyone. Trust me. Large up everyone in the comments. Mark, hi, Vader. Hope you're well. Mark, I'm good, man. Been a little hectic. I've had some great honors that have happened within my life, and then on top of that, because I had to deal with that, work kind of got piled up, and I'm just back to things being calm. So we're gonna have a fantastic show. FIFA goes, let's get Trent or Cancelo. Is that what you're trying to say? Big up, guys. 100. Good evening. Clinical, the Jamaican citizen, my guy. Large up. FIFA, let's get Trent. If Cancelo leaves, pay 100 mil. Arsenal 100 mil for Cancelo. If we're gonna lose Cancelo to anyone within the league, they got to pay up. We got to do the way West Ham, the way Aston Villa. Yes, quote unquote, we've got money, but the quality of player, if he's leaving us to go to someone else in the league, they got to come through. They got to come correct with the dough. Trust me. Blue Heart. Good evening, all my Jamaicans. Yo, all the yardies out there. Large up. I was gonna say yardmen, but I'd be discriminating against women. You know what I mean? FIFA, Blue Heart, I think those guys are chatting right now. Nah, FIFA, I ain't saying it. Now is not the time for me to say. You know what it is. Dre P goes, I think Pep and the team absolutely did not want to go 2 down and thus did not attack as much. Any changes may have been attacking. No need to have taken that chance. Dre P, we're on the same page, man. I got wisdom. That's what this means. Platinum's coming through. That's wisdom, like an old goat. You see, trust me, Dre, you're right. You're right. Clinical goes exact blue heart. Let's do this proper. Like, if you don't know, new to the channel, you've been here before. I'm based out here in Toronto. Fantastic city. If you have a chance to visit during the summertime. It's a beautiful place, and I'm going to show you a little imagery. Young Street, famous street, goes right through the city, and a little bit of our our city skyline. So check this out. Proper intro. We got to do this. Why always me? Episode 82. You know what it is. Manchester City showed a lot of maturity, a lot of experience because of past UCLs. And what you do in the league does not translate to what you do in Champions League. So it was great to see how the players responded and even how they approached the game. On top of that, we don't have the luxury of choosing we're only doing UCL or we're only doing the Prem. No, that's not how we move, right? Don't give me a choice on whether I can have my cake and eat it too, because I do. I want my cake and I do want to eat it too. All right, that's how it is. I want the Prem and I want the UCL. That's how we're moving this year. Say I'm greedy. Say I'm selfish. Say I'm delusional. Say, nah, you should be prioritizing the one that you've never had before over anything. I think the form that you show in the Prem, in this case, with regards to us, City, Pep, what we show within the league, I think it translates over to Champions League. There's a rhythm to it. There's a confidence, right? There's using tactics in actual gameplay to then translate in Champions League. I think we need that. I think we need that. All right? Other clubs don't. Maybe it's because they've had one before, so they can lean back on that. They can go to that. We, not so much. We've grown into success with regards to the Prem. All right? And I think we take that with us to the Champions League. And yes, I talked with my hands. It is what it is. But I'm going to deal with this a little later in the show. Everton, most important game, and it's for many reasons. We're going to deal with that. So let me take that off screen and let's deal with the topics that we got to get to. Now, apologies. My last show, I know I got timestamp to add. I will do that. What I have to do right here is make sure that I hit this so that when I go back to catch it, I see it easier to do it. Vader game. Okay. City 1-1 versus Real Madrid. Real Madrid at the Bernabeu. Real Madrid 14 UCL. 14. Okay. More than two hands worth. 14. We go over there to play against them, defending UCL champs. Tough task. They've been informed. They just won their Copa del Rey, which is our FA Cup. Prior to that, they rested 2 games prior, making sure that their players were going to be informed for that quote-unquote cup run, in addition to also being ready to play in the Champions League. We don't move that way. We don't think that way, right? We don't even have the luxury to do that because we have Arsenal breathing down our backs with regards to this league. Real Madrid themselves, they've forsaken their league. They won it last year. They did the double last year. This year, they've forsaken the league. They've said, Barcelona, you have it. You have it. I'm not catching you. That's not us. So we have a different battle. We have a different battle for us this year. And we're not giving up on the league. Absolutely not. And I'll get into why maybe Real Madrid have the mentality, have the perspective to give up on the league. So we'll deal with that. But 1-1 away it's a very good result. It's a very good result. Let's not be silly here. Coming out of there without a deficit, and I can't remember who said it in the comments, but that was the plan. And that's been the plan with regards to Champions League. You've seen Pep away, quote unquote conservative, risk adverse. Yeah. But you've also seen it's not collapsing, it's not falling back, it's not drawing out the game, it's still attacking, but it's not the aggressive, it's not the type of free flowing football that we typically do. And it served us well. It served us very well. I wanna do this. I would easily say Real Madrid have equal to maybe slightly better, depending on position, quality to us. But even despite that, they didn't look to go blow for blow, right? They didn't look to go toe to toe, Lost Boys. They didn't look to go toe to toe, blow for blow, right? They didn't look to have that fight, that back and forth. They conceded in their house. Was I wrong? Was I wrong to hear their own fans whistling? And culturally, when they're whistling, that's to show unhappiness. That's to show dislike. The way Real Madrid, for the first 20 minutes of that game, on how they just conceded and were playing defensive, I saw Karim Benzema down to where Rodri was in the midfield, in their end, defending. When you have something like that, it speaks volumes. It speaks volumes because fear and respect are on the same side of, they're on the same coin. Flip, in either one. Fat Joe, for all you hip hop heads, said, I'd rather have fear than respect because fear lasts longer. The fact that Real Madrid feared our attack, feared our ability, feared our quality, and played that way was a huge sign of respect. And it's also different because we've seen teams with lesser quality than Real Madrid play that way. When I hear about tacticians and tacticals and master classes, anybody can play defensive. Anybody can ask their players to fall back and make it difficult to be broken down and look to catch on the counter. Mind you, you have to have quality to be able to execute a good counter. And a large part of that is quality with regards to passing ability and then speed, pace, which Real Madrid have in abundance with Rodrigo and Vinicius. Camavinga also playing typically a midfielder, but playing on at that left back. They've got a lot of speed. So it's not something that where it's exceptional to be doing the counter, but to have a Real Madrid choose to play us like that, guys, look at what we've grown to. Look at where we've come. We're still Champions League, not winning that trophy, inexperienced city. We're still what every rival will say, small club city. But to have big bad 14 UCL trophies, Real Madrid, defending champs, play that way in their house against us, huge sign of respect. Huge sign of respect. And I think Pep played it the right way. We didn't want to go there and be down a deficit coming back home. If they're going to play that way, we're not going to put ourselves in any risky situations, any places to put ourselves in a bad deficit, where then we're now have to go uphill with regards to winning this tie. I think Pep managed it really well. And again, you guys can tell me if I'm wrong. Real Madrid, in my opinion, showed fear, especially in that first half. Cautious. They were cautious. But what do you do when you're why are you cautious? Usually when you're apprehensive, usually when you're taking your time, when you're being careful, what is it? What are you being careful of? What is it? You're worried. You're fearful. Real Madrid showed a lot of that in that first half. Whether they're going to do the same moving forward, who knows? Because I think a lot of what Real Madrid do is to kind of pace out the game. But I think they also know to pace out the game because, again, a certain level of intensity cannot be maintained, right? I'm gonna go to the comments. I'm gonna try to stay on flow, but I'm gonna go to the comments. I see you guys. Let me try to catch up to where I was. I got my guy. Oh, and I'm gonna send out the link. I'm gonna send out the link as well. My bad. Let me try to get through the comments quickly. Oh, you guys were flowing here. My bad. So yeah, I think I put this on screen earlier. Dre mentioned that. Yep. And now Blue Heart goes, for me, It was a real game of chess against Madrid. But I'm also pleased that, in my opinion, we edged it. We were so well under control in our game plan. We were blue. I agree with you. And even with the attempts that we had early in that game, I think we rushed it a little bit. Even Rodri's shot, definitely Haaland with the one he had on his left, even his header. I think Haaland a little more calm and he places that header down as opposed to just making contact. I think he actually places that down. But again, I'm happy with that play. This is Real Madrid we're talking about. Don't let any rivals or quote unquote neutrals say that was a bad result for us. Nah, we've learned over the years. We don't need to go balls to the wall. We don't need to go crazy to try to win the tie in the first leg. Nah, Pep's realized more so because of how he needs to manage the players that's the best way to pace things out. Blue Heart goes and Kyle Walker for me had one of the best games in a City shirt. He did, and Kyle hasn't been called up often. Recently he's been sidelined, whether it's tactically or maybe it was to make sure that he was absolutely fresh and ready for that pace that Vinny brings. Right? Maybe Pep looked at it like I'm not giving any chance of Walker's hamstrings being worn down or tired. We saw that last year. Pep was like, I'm gonna make sure Walker's ready. And he was. I agree with you, Blue Heart. Zeno goes, it's quite ironic how it's after the Madrid game that people want to run KDB is not a big game. But Zeno, man, there's lazy agendas. We see it a mile away. Like sometimes don't even bother to engage. Sometimes wait for a game to be played. But I say this all the time. There's those fans, and again, I'm based on in here in North America, so I'm very familiar with Skip Bayless and Shannon Sharp. They have a great show. They cover more so NFL and NBA. But there's a Skip Bayless take, which is purely emotional arguments, subjective points of view, and then there's Shannon Sharp, former player that's more tactical and takes a step back and looks at the big picture. A lot of these lazy agendas, maybe they played the game before, but these agendas aren't from a athletic point of view. They're not from a player's perspective or whether a coach perspective. They're clearly agenda based. You can't look at KDB and say that this man has not stepped up in big games. And then to move the goalposts, they're going to say big games aren't any games in the Premier League, regardless of the situation or the circumstances. Because sometimes you're going to need a big game performance off of the team not playing well, putting the team on your back, maybe a string of games where some players have kind of dropped the level, so you got to carry the team. And then in addition to that, when there's stress and pressures from Liverpool being in pursuit, to have to step up and make sure you get a result. Get out of here, man. Get out of here. Dre P goes, a very good result, but it means nothing if City don't dominate as they can at the Etihad. A 1-0 will do, but would love to see City send a message like they did versus Arsenal. Dre P, players not having to travel, Pep having that time, players being familiar with regards to the pitch, Madrid having to travel over, and again, more importantly, the fans that are going to be there to not only jeer and make Real Madrid hate to want to be there, but to encourage our players. When we see, and you know this, Dre, when we're watching the game and there's a beautiful passage of play, or there's an attempted press against us, and we just move the ball around, and then we're now on the attack, and the crowd, you can hear the crowd stand on their feet and start cheering. That energy, our players are going to be up for it, man. I'm happy that we're home for this second leg. Dre P goes, agree, Vader. The best clubs do not prioritize; they go for everything. I trust Real Madrid are actually a little embarrassed. They are out of La Liga already. Yeah, they have to be. They have to be the club that they claim to be. I shouldn't say that. I shouldn't say the club that they claim to be. The club that they are. They cannot be happy. Their fans will downplay it. Their fans will say we won the double last year, so we could care less. I'm stealing points with regards to what I want to talk about later. But guys and girls, I don't ever want to be so big of a club. I don't ever want to be so arrogant as a fan to say we have enough of those trophies. I don't want another one. I don't. What is that? I won the double last year, so I don't care about trying to win it versus Barcelona, quote unquote, my rival. No, man. Like I don't get that. Let me make sure I send the link out. And I'm going to make it a point to send the link out after about me speaking 15, 20 minutes, just so I can get the flow going. Sorry for the dead air. My bad. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, they have to be embarrassed, right? Zeno goes, personally, I don't feel we need to send a message. There's no one left to send it to. Just win and let. No, I agree, Zeno. I agree. We just need to win. Facts. That's important enough. But if we win in that style, Zeno, I'm not saying we have to do it. I'm not going that far. But if we happen to win with that kind of dominance, Zeno, going into the final, Daniel goes, if Coutinho, oh wait, is in the chat or watches the stream back, you are a fraud and we have no clue about football. What is this? If we went on HH's after the game and said our defense is overrated. Wait, what am I missing here? Did he? No, he did not do that. No, Daniel, no. You know what? You're gonna derail. I gotta chill. Mancunian Way goes, hey mate, I bet. Okay, I'll check it out. We got PitchPoints, Carl Gundalorian in the building. Thanks for being on the show, man.
Hey, how are you? Can you hear me?
I hear you loud and clear.
Yep.
I'm not sure if you heard any portion of the beginning, but I just talked about the 1-1 result away at Real Madrid. Yes, you could ask for maybe another goal or whatever, but you definitely don't want to leave there with a deficit. And I say job done, 1-1.
Yeah, I studied the game again yesterday. We spent some time on the game yesterday, looking at the fine details, and everything we predicted on the show came to pass. The game was literally about overloads and mentality. That's what it was about. Every single play was about overloads. If you watch the game, what City were doing with it, they were overloading Camavinga on that side with De Bruyne, with Bernardo Silva. Kept 1v1 Carvajal and Grealish. It was about overloads. What Madrid were trying to do was overload Kyle Walker many times on the left side with the Vinicius Junior. So it was all about overload. It was basically the battle of the left, of the right.
Yes.
That's what it was.
Yeah. Battle our right, and it was their left. I agree with you.
Yeah,
I agree with you.
And this has happened before. When we played Liverpool 2 years ago, I called it the battle of the left because it was basically the battle between Salah, Cancelo, and it was Walker, I believe, and somebody else. It was basically was it. So but then the mentality piece is we always knew that Madrid were going to score at home. We always knew that. They're at home, they're European champions. The question becomes when they score, how do we react? And are we able to get back? Let's be clear. Camavinga did well, right? But the press from City on Camavinga led him to lose the ball for us to score that goal.
Yeah. And I mean, again, I did the same thing. I looked at the entire game, the full 90 minutes, pausing in between, checking out some positioning. And I think Pep in particular, because I can't put my mind into Ancelotti. I haven't watched him enough. But Pep in particular also, he didn't show everything. So to your point, even when we are pressing, it's not like something that we did throughout the entire game or even did for the 30 game. We picked moments.
I mean, here's the truth, right? The truth is City didn't play to 50% of their level. And I have this debate with some Chelsea fans who are now Real Madrid fans yesterday, right?
Yeah.
That, listen, City didn't play to the level that City can play. And there are a number of reasons for that. One is which they went to the Bernabeu. It's not easy to go to the Bernabeu and win. It's not easy at all. It's not easy to go there, especially in the semi-finals, to go there and win on a huge day, hot day, to go win. But we didn't play to our level. We didn't play. Madrid, on the other hand, played at home, try to get, and we still came out looking good. So the question on the second level would be, where's our mind at? Because player for player, I'm backing us, but where is our mind at? Do we believe that we deserve to be in the final? Are we ready to be in the final?
Yeah.
If we are, then we win.
I'm with you. I got Martin Mancunian Way in the building coming through from backstage. How you doing, Martin?
Evening. You'll be all right.
Evening, my guy. I hear you loud and clear. I was just talking with Carl. That first leg, that's how we handle going away, Bernabeu, 14 Champions League winner, Real Madrid. I was talking to those in the audience, and I was saying their fans were whistling, were irate, were upset with how the first 20 minutes of that game played out, because they saw what Real Madrid did in terms of being at home and essentially conceding to us. And the approach taken by the players, the poise that they took, even being that dominant, to then a moment of brilliance from Vinicius, to then still be calm and have the game plan and attack, was absolutely great. I think it showed a lot of experience and maturity. What did you think of how the game started and how we reacted to that first goal?
I was very happy with the way we started. First 30 minutes, it was all us.
Mm-hmm.
And I keep saying, you can always tell with tempo the way we start games. We were at them from the off. There was no fear.
Mm-hmm.
Always said fear. Respect them, don't fear them.
Yeah.
I don't think we did fear them. We were playing a quality team.
I agree.
I've seen people, giving up chances. This is not FIFA. You're going to give up chances to Real Madrid, Bayern Munich. These are not Bristol City we're playing in. No disrespect, but they're at home.
Yes.
You look at the crowd from last season, look at the crowd to this season. Totally different reaction, because they had fear. They were fearing us. They respected us. And, and even going the goal down, the way I look upon it with the game, both goals came against the run of play. Yeah. If you look at their goal, was when we were on top, and our goal came when they were having a spell.
Yeah.
It was a really weird situation, but, you've got to give the devil a due. Camavinga did very well. He did very well in his role. I thought Vinny was okay. I don't think he was as great as people made out. Thought Kyle Walker did a very good job on him. Don't think Kyle Walker got enough respect coming out of that game from what he did. I'm not going to go into the referee, because everyone saw it. Everyone saw what they were looking at. Rudiger, that's what he does. He did it to KDB 2 years ago.
Yeah.
It is what it is.
This is the thing that's going to be really interesting, is whether some of the shenanigans, some of the things that were happening with Carvajal and obviously Rudiger is going to be allowed with the ref on the second leg. Because again, there is going to be an observation of what was done leg one, or first leg to second leg. Now, I also want to point out, and I saw your message. So with regards to sake of time, I'm gonna move forward a little quickly, I'm gonna move forward and come back, guys. So the topics will all be addressed, but this one in particular, I want to put on screen. And because you mentioned it, Martin, and actually, Mark, I want to point this out. Madrid have great history. You're right. City are creating history before our eyes. With regards to what we're doing, Champions League, with regards to this, and I'm not saying the word, but what we have a chance of winning this year, this is history in front of our eyes. These are moments that the club has not had. And to be alive, to be a fan, and it's not reading in Wikipedia or reading or hearing from others, to be alive when it's happening, cherish it. Bring your family members. If you got kids, bring your kids. Let them witness moments like these, because this is history in the making. But I have on screen, and let me actually take this off screen. I have on screen what led to Vinicius and his moment of brilliance. And again, you're gonna have moments like that where players are gonna have to take their chances. Players are gonna have to, see a moment and attack and pursue. YouTube, do not copy strike me. This is strictly for learning purposes. That is all that this is, strictly learning purposes and studying. Do not copy strike me. But we have here on screen, hopefully you guys can see it, but it's Camavinga. He gets possession of the ball. And again, he looks to run downhill. He's got better pace than Silva, and Silva's maybe a slight step behind. And he's running down with Vinicius already ahead of him. And Walker is playing Vinicius like he should be. He's in the right position. So I'm gonna play this a little bit frame by frame, and I'm gonna pause it along the way. But Camavinga just continues to carry, and then Walker's got to make a choice because of where Vinicius goes. Walker's got to make a choice. Does he go to Camavinga, who's already past Silva, and he has his back to Vinicius, so we can kind of see he's made the decision just to keep the width, and Camavinga plays inside. That's Gundo running back. Gundo didn't quite have the pace to get there, but when we look at the back line, and we see we see Stones, we see Diaz, and we see Akanji. Akanji's got Rodrigo on that edge. He's got his responsibilities. And you could see that would be Diaz. He's squared up, ready for Benzema. And then we got Stones that's kind of like in between here. But it is a brilliant play. I wouldn't even fault our defense with regards to this because maybe one of them should have chose to close out. That's really the only criticism I have. But this is a brilliant play that ends up happening. Camavinga plays it, and Vinny takes one touch. Pushes it away from his feet. And the rest, he puts, look at the placement of that. It may not show clearly on the screen, but he puts that almost top corner. It's a brilliant goal.
The problem with this goal was Bernardo Silva. And we need to, in moments like these, foul the guy. Take the yellow.
Mm-hmm.
Foul him. Take the yellow. Because guess what? Madrid will do that. They'll foul you.
Yeah.
They will foul you. Casemiro will foul you. All these clowns will foul you. Carvajal will foul you. Foul him. What are you looking at, Bernardo? The guy's gone past. You're transitioning this guy off to somebody else. Camavinga, when it's your responsibility. Foul him.
Yeah,
foul him.
I agree.
Foul the guy.
Early on, with regards to that run, I would agree. Silva should have, and again, he didn't have to be blatant where he's putting two arms on him and dragging him down. But whether it's messing up his stride, whether it's clipping him for a little bit and risking a yellow, I think he should have taken that. After maybe 4 or 5 strides taken, then it was like he's not catching him. And Gundo's pace was not going to catch him either. So that's where my only, and again, this was reading in seconds, right? My only thing was maybe one of the defenders communicating and them looking to either square up or get to Vinicius. But it's a brilliant goal. Let me go to the comments as I see some came through, and I'm going to make sure that I get to everyone. But with regards to this right now, Edison in the building, AC Milan fan, and my guy, you still have a second leg. Team's got to step up. Team's got to step up. But Edison goes, I wonder if Madrid is the same without Vinicius. Nah, Vinicius is quality, man. They're not the same team without him. He's playing absolutely brilliant today, this season. Let me see here. Dre P goes, don't forget, Courtois made a great save early in the second half. Yep, off of KDB. City had chances even before Real Madrid had their spell. No, I agree. And even when I was talking earlier, maybe a little calmer, placing it a little different would have made things tougher for Courtois with the shots that Haaland had early. I agree with you. FIFA, I don't agree with this one. I mean, FIFA goes, should have played Alvarez. Are you talking start or are you talking sub? Give me a little more clarity on that one, FIFA. But I'm not only going to look at or share the goal that happened with Vinicius, and I'm going to present a different angle here because it was brilliant. It was brilliant. But when we look at this, and this is, I think, what Carl's emphasizing here. When Camavinga is running here, this is where Bernardo should have done a tactical. Should have done a tactical before he even got greater space to play the ball off. And then Vinicius, being pretty much dead center on the net, had his choice of either kicking it to the left or right post. And he made a brilliant goal. Brilliant goal. All right, let me take that off screen. YouTube, do not copy strike me. This is strictly for learning purposes. Let me fast forward this. And thanks for your patience, guys. Martin, I know I got you for short time, so I want to point out the moment that happens with regards to our guy. Yeah. All right. Let me put this on screen for you guys. I'm gonna audible this because I know you're on the move, Carl, so I'm gonna speak out loud here. But Martin, if you're able to see this, we got Grealish with the ball, top of the 18-yard box on the left-hand side. What was very, very consistent was if Grealish had one defender, he was pushing forward. He's trying to get into that 18-yard box. When he saw that a second defender came alongside, he looked to play the ball off. So in this case, he's looking to take on Carvajal, and then he waits, which looks, I think it's actually Kraus that looks to be over there to help him out. And he's actually able to slip him. He slips the ball out. He gets the ball to Gundogan. Gundogan back to goal. Back to goal, gets a touch, makes the defender engage. And I'm going to add Patrick, true City fan, in the mix. Thanks for being on the show, Patrick. He gets the defender to engage, and then he squares the ball off as Haaland runs through the box and pulls Rudiger away. You don't see it in this picture, but who Gundogan lays the ball off to is no one other than the man that goes by his initials, KDB. And it's a screamer. It is an absolute screamer. He kicks it and tries to burst the ball out of its skin in a way. And I'm gonna get the better angle here. But I'll be honest with you guys. You tell me if you saw something different. When I saw this the first time, I didn't know it went in. I didn't know it went in until I heard the celebration because I couldn't see it.
I think that this goal was so important because not only does it give us the draw, but it puts a bit of doubt in Real Madrid's mind because now they know that this City team didn't play really well, but we still couldn't beat them at home. It changes. People say, "Oh, they have the mentality." Let me tell you something, right? When a giant, when you attack the Achilles of a giant, right, they fall.
Yeah.
And what I mean by that is everybody has fear. Don't believe the hype that they have this. Man, everybody's afraid. Everybody, in the human being psyche is the element of fear. The question is, what degree does it exist at? I can guarantee that what a goal caused them to be concerned going into the second leg. That's why Ancelotti was stalking rave at the sideline, complaining to the referees, because he knows that he's going to be up against it at the Etihad. Yeah. He knows that.
Yeah. I got a shout out to True City fan Patrick in the building. Clinical, the Jamaican citizen, is here as well. Patrick, that goal by KDB, how'd you react?
Yeah, it was a good goal. To be honest with you,
a good goal.
I didn't finish it yet. I was like the guy from Madrid, the Paul who did the preview with us. He was saying, "I have a feeling City will score no matter what. I think they're not going to leave here without a goal." And he said that just within 2 minutes, KDB kicked that. Even Jack said it, and it's quite funny that Jack said it because I also was about to write him a message to say on Twitter that, man, if you say it, why don't you do it also? He says at halftime we were discussing with each other saying one of us is going to have to start shooting from outside the box. I was like, well, start shooting. It says Rodri, Gundogan, and KDB seemed like they were taking that ownership. I think that's the other issue with our team. I think Rio Ferdinand was talking the other day, say it looks like it's Alvarez. You see the Alvarez or De Bruyne or Gundogan, who always attempts, or Rodri once in a while, who attempts to shoot from outside. The rest of the team seems to want to tap in, or they want to a goal that's close. So I think that was great, man. And the way he hit it, obviously, some people are trying to bring the history behind between the keeper and KDB, but let's not get into that. But the way he hit it was full of venom, and he got emotional because I think he knows how important that goal is. To be honest with you, this game, not many great chances were created if you think about it from both teams. It just took, obviously, as Martin said earlier on, both teams being on a high and the other team just scoring and shutting down the other team. So anyway, I enjoyed the goal, man. It was amazing. And the way it was hit, that's a people don't get it. He hit it cleanly and he picked his spot. And for you to beat Courtois, who is very tall, whose nickname is Giraffe, that was a good hit, to be honest.
Yeah. Daniel goes, if that shot hit the post and Haaland scores a tap in, Vader.
Oh, don't start that one again.
Give KDB a assist. Daniel, hey, when it happened at another time, I was right.
It was planned in training.
If it happened here, I would have claimed that. But Daniel, thank you.
No, just for a shoot, mate. It was an exceptional goal. That was something that you want to hit in FIFA. It looked like FIFA. His whole body, the way he hit it, no chance for Courtois. And Courtois had saved everything up to then. And that was just majestic from Kevin. I honestly thought it was a very mature performance overall. Yeah, but one or two weren't great. I thought it was a very mature. You know, Pep mentioned it in his post-match. You go back to last season. In the 90th minute or the 85th minute, we're still trying to go for goals.
Mm-hmm.
You saw 1-1, second leg. Don't need to make subs. I thought it was a very mature performance. We held it out. We did our job. And if we'd all said we just took 1-1 to go back to the fortress that he had, you'd snap the hand off.
I'll take 1-0 too, Martin. I was willing to take 1-0 or 2-0. Even 2-0, I was willing to take it as that was the worst. I said 2-0 could have been the worst. I was willing to take it.
To me, I came out of it going, he's learned from last year.
Yeah. And
I don't think Pep gets sort of credit sometimes from opposition fans in terms of him. He does learn.
Yeah, but it's also a matter of him knowing, but then learning that he can ask certain things of his players. I think that's also the part where he knows what he can ask them to do and what positions, what situations he can alert them. To the point that True City Fan mentioned with regards to there weren't, many attempts or many moments, right? But it's funny because they had to play that way defensively to limit our moments where we didn't change anything up defensively. We weren't, we didn't sit further back. We didn't commit more people defensively as they did. There were many moments where I saw Benzema not even threatening our back line, but dropping back to put pressure on Rodri. So them doing the same thing, it's going to be very interesting. I see people in the building. I want to say thank you so much. Super Silva in the building, trust me. Sean, hi Vader, thank you so much. Big Morgan, game on. Yes, it is game on. Now, before I know Martin's got to go, so real quick, I want to ask you this. Haaland, Gundogan, and Silva. They didn't have the best results game-wise. We know what Real Madrid looked to do against them and what was asked of those players. Do you think what do you think of their performance? Or what do you expect for them on the second leg?
Erling Haaland, I thought, did he have an off day strike-wise? You got to give the defence credit for me. I honestly thought his overall play was better. If you look, he was coming back trying to do them flick-ons deep into the midfield. There's a couple of occasions. I think that's something that's come into his game that people haven't noticed as much. Gundo, I'm not sure if that jab to his face in the first half.
I hated seeing that.
Or the other side of it, I think we forget he's a magnificent player, but he's 32, 33. Is he going to be able to do it constantly? Still keep him, but he's a great professional and a cracking footballing player. And Bernardo Silva, you got to give Camavinga his job. I will say I thought Bernardo was also a bit lucky to stay on the pitch.
To stay on the pitch.
Yeah, I'm going to be fair.
Okay.
He did put his rake. I'm not sure it was Camavinga, but he did.
Yeah, it was Camavinga. He caught him on the back. The back of the
He did put his studs down the back of his Achilles. Trust me, I've had that. It's a nasty one. But you know, it is what it is. It's all to play for. I'm more than confident that the Etihad we get through. I honestly think we'll get through by 2 goals because I think we'll play a different game at the Etihad. I think we'll go for it. And I hear all this. It's Real Madrid. Yes, like I said, you respect them, you don't fear them. But Real Madrid have never won at the Etihad. They've never won at the Etihad.
Those stats.
And I'm not putting the kiss of death on it.
No, I know.
We've not lost since 2019. We're going to bus welcome them. There's going to be a sea of blue. It is, you know, apparently there's flags going out, scarves will be out, everything will be out.
So, Super Silva goes, to be honest, I've lost confidence in beating Real Madrid. It's all in the hands of God, broken heart. Silva, I don't know how you see that performance and you've lost confidence.
Sorry.
Maybe you're trying to provoke a combo, but I don't know why you would have.
I think it's just trauma. I think it's just trauma from the past. People are just traumatized. They're just fearful. There's nothing to fear, guys. There's nothing to fear. There's nothing to fear.
We didn't lose.
Come on.
We didn't lose that.
It's interesting. It's interesting.
Sorry?
That's a weird one. That's a weird one because we didn't lose in that game.
Vader, it's just trauma from the past, and I understand it. Listen, I was nervous before the game. I had to call Patrick. Patrick had to encourage me. Am I lying, Patrick? Patrick, you there? You're mute, Patrick.
Sorry. I was talking. Yeah. Look, at the end of the day, you're right. People are scared of a team that has only beaten you once in 4 tries. And at the Etihad, the last time we lost the game, that Lyon game people keep talking about, that was a dead rubber. The Lyon game we lost the Etihad was a dead rubber. That was a dead rubber that we're done with the group. It's not the Lyon that we lost away in the neutral ground. No, this is a Lyon we lost against the dead rubber. Guys, Madrid know this, and Madrid fear us. It's just that you guys obviously are making it as if you fear them, but they actually fear us more because a lot of Madrid people know they haven't won at the Etihad. The Etihad is becoming a fortress. People are holding 3+ goals at the Etihad. And let me tell you something. If you talk about a team, I know that it's mentality for Madrid. But right now in this year, that Arsenal team is actually playing better than Madrid. It's just me, but that Arsenal team plays better
than Madrid. Just for the shoot, what makes me laugh is everyone goes on about Real Madrid's mentality, Bayern Munich's mentality, Arsenal mentality, this mentality. I never heard about our mentality. 2019, we're undefeated in. We've conceded 5 goals in the whole competition.
Yeah.
Do me a favour. People need to have a little bit more faith in this team. This team deserve our backing, and they'll get it at the Etihad. I can promise you that. We will roll them on, and I promise you we'll be in that final.
I want to say this real quick as well because Daniel brings up a point. He goes, "I've sent you our away and home record in the UCL this season in your DMs, Vader. It suits this conversation perfectly." Daniel, you're absolutely right. Thanks for sharing it because the graphic is great. Let me see if I'll do my best to put this on screen.
I'm going to shoot, mate. Cheers, mate, and lads.
Martin, thanks
subscribe
for joining,
to everyone. Show them a lot of love, a lot of support. Hit that subscribe to them all. PitchPoints, True City Fan, Beta Games, Clinical. Show them all a lot of love.
Appreciate it, man. Thank you so much. And you guys make sure, if you haven't already, and you definitely should have, because if you've been a part of this channel, you should know. You should subscribe to the Mancunian Way. Great content. We often collab, whether he's doing reaction shows or previews, the same way that I'm able to be part of the True City Fan and PitchPoints. Make sure to subscribe to their channels. And every channel here today that are supporting on the show, Clinical, True City Fan, PitchPoints, their channels are in the description on my YouTube channel for sure. Let me put this on screen for you guys. I want to I'm blocking myself. Let me minimize it a little bit. There we go. I'm gonna put this on screen. You guys saw it the whole time. My bad. Didn't even notice. But this is what Daniel shared with me. All right, and you can see it, guys. Super Silva. You're talking about the confidence is kind of fading a little bit. Take a look at this. Take a look at this, and then that confidence should be reinvigorated. It should be at max.
Vader,
This is what
the
we've been
problem
doing at
is
home.
the problem is there are too many spaces people attend that they listen to rivals. That's a problem. We need to have more spaces talking about who we are and what we do. You all go to all these crazy spaces, listen to all these crazy rivals, and then that gets into your brain. Believe in this team and look at the data, look at the facts. They're in front of you. If you can't believe in this team, who are you going to believe in? Seriously. I mean, come on.
100%. Let me shout this out. It's slightly off topic, but I started, and I'm gonna say it real quick because Ederson, longtime friend, we battled, we had our FIFA battles over the years, and he's a big AC Milan fan. So I'm gonna put this on screen for him. Ederson goes, it's a miracle for Milan going this far with little to no quality. The striker only 8 goals when the others are having 25 plus goals. That being said, I'm not going to cry if we go out. Inter has depth. No, I respect that, Ederson. And sometimes it's situational. It's just not your time. The run that you guys went on last year with regards to the league and this year with regards to Champions League, hopefully you guys build off of it. And again, and at the same time, you got a second leg. Hopefully you guys make it a fight next time around. But Super Silva, look at that. 5 games at home, 5 wins. 6 games away. 1 win, 5 draws, no losses. This is how you manage Champions League on a 2-leg effort, right? And many managers before what we're doing this year would have said the same thing. If you're going away hostile grounds, at the very least, leave there with a draw. And we've been doing that. And look at the amount of goals that we're scoring at home. The confidence should be there, man. The confidence should be there. Let me continue on here. Zeno goes, oh yeah, I got that. Oh, what was this? Oh yeah. My bad, guys. I'm trying to get back with the comments. Dre P goes, LOL, that's last season's experience talking. City should have beaten Real Madrid comfortably last year. Experience is huge. Some try to downplay it, but in your own life examples, when you do something for the first time, right? You want to think things professionally. You want to think things romantically. When you do things for the first time, it's not quite there. You get that experience. It's calm. You move a lot better. You know what to do. The pace of the game, the pace of things slow down. Super Silva goes, at the Etihad, it's now or never. We have to pull out all guns blazing. We need to continue to play controlled. I think we're going to get even more opportunities. And Haaland, KDB, Gundogan, most likely we're going to see Alvarez on that pitch. They're going to take their chances, and they know where the net is. It's at home cooking. Don Smoke in the building, my guy Don Smoke, he goes, if one has to call Pat for encouragement, then you were far. Good, mature, and professional performance from the lads. Oh, you're talking about Pat. What's he mean by this?
Yeah, he was talking about because Carl was saying he called me. But at the end of the day, funny thing is, all these guys were in a phone call panicking. And I told them to all calm down.
Oh, man, it was great. You know what? I love the fact that now we enjoy football together. Like Clinical, Carl, Patrick, Don Smoke, Martin. I like that games like these is now, what do you think? Or what did you have? How did you enjoy that? Where were you when? Like it's made for a lot better experience. And those of you in the comments as well to be able to talk post-match. Marvin goes, I was trying to find your channel, Patrick, but forgot the name. Can you pin it in the comments? True City fan. And in the description, you'll see his channel. You'll just click on it. I don't even think it takes you off of my channel. I think you can click on his channel and you can instantly sub there, Marvin. Super Silva goes, Kevin De Bruyne had to do it himself because everyone turned into... Nah, Silva, I'm a chill. I respect the comments, but nah, the players did not turn into Sterling. They weren't prime Sterling. You could tell how Real Madrid were defending against us, and it just took a while to pick that lock. Marvin goes, salute Vader, by the way. No worries, man. My guy. Edison goes, yep, yeah, I saw that. If Haaland and KDB are man-marked, who's going to step up? If they're man-marked, there's going to be space. Carl mentioned that he watched the game a second time. I did the same thing. There's also, and Pep, Pep and the coaching staff have done that. They're going to know. Go ahead.
If I may, let me throw something controversial right here. So Haaland in this game was doing what he did on purpose. What I mean by that is that Haaland stood in between both Rudiger and Alaba to occupy them, so they don't make those runs into midfield. That way, we're able to control the game better and control either Camavinga, Vinicius, and Rodrigo. Because Kroos was irrelevant in this game, frankly. So when you have those two centre backs pinned back because of Haaland, it gives space for us to play a little higher and control the game and restrict the game to just a couple of runs. That's why Haaland was smiling, because he knows that he's been asked to play a specific role. First leg, contain. Second leg, explode. You think Haaland's going to be quiet for 180 minutes or 3 hours of football against Real Madrid's backline?
Nah, he's going to be
I was watching it. Why is this guy in between these two center backs? Why is he in between? Because that's the role he was told to play. That's the role he was told to play, so you can have some control in the midfield with the other players.
And again, Gundo, as you say that, there is pockets, and what I was seeing on the left-hand side in particular, where there was space where Gundogan could have dropped into, receive the pass, and then be in between of Carvajal and Rudiger. There was pockets of that, even Rodri at times, and I think those are things that are going to get exploited next game. But yeah, you're absolutely right. What Haaland had to do, it's almost like you're setting things up that you're going to then exploit later. And what he did was absolutely great. And Rudiger he was classical Rudiger. Daniel goes, we will attack faster and more aggressive at home. Pep wanted to just control the game away from home. I agree with you. And let me switch.
The one moment in the game where we accelerated the speed of.
I think I might be losing you. I think I might have lost you, Carl.
Vader game.
All right, let me change this. Now, let me ask you guys. No subs. I happen to put in the comments no subs because of an eye on Everton. All right. Clinical, I haven't heard from you. Hope you're good. I see you on mute if you want to chime in. But what did you think at the time of the no subs on that first leg versus Real Madrid?
Yeah, I'm doing good, bro. Thanks for asking, and I hope all you guys are doing well. To be honest with you, like Martin said earlier, there was a large portion of I'd say in the middle of the game where Real Madrid were the ones in the ascendancy, and they had more control over the game than we did. I think in that point in the game, we were losing the midfield battle, and I noticed KDB was up closer to Haaland, so he wasn't like able to put in that same graft as a Rodri would be, and Stones would be next to him. So they had more control over the midfield in that point in time. They were creating a lot more chances than we were. And personally, going into the game, I already thought our best chances would come from our wing play, predominantly Grealish on Carvajal.
Okay.
Also, like before the game, I was obviously all of us could predict what lineup we would go with, but I was thinking that the only change that could be made would be Foden in for Bernardo, and that's because I think if we wanted to attack Camavinga directly, he would be a better option than Bernardo would be.
Yeah.
But I knew that he wouldn't get chosen because of Bernardo Silva's ball retention as well as his defensive capabilities. Both are better than Foden's.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
I knew that from seeing Bernardo starting, that wouldn't directly be the game plan. It would more be get KDB over there to help him and double up on him, play off of each other and get around him, in which that also worked. But at a time where we weren't in the Real Madrid were in the ascendancy and we weren't seeing much chances being created at the other end. At that point, I was crying out for Foden. Like, I knew that he would start, but I was thinking, at least get him off the bench because he's definitely gonna have a role to play in this game. Like, we're down 1-0 at the time, and I'm there screaming at the TV, Pep, it's not working. Like, change something. Like, if we concede a second goal and this tie ends 2-0, we're gonna be looking back like, why didn't you make a sub, or why didn't you?
But this is what I want to ask. Do you think he would have made a sub that would have better prevented a second goal, or he would have made a sub that would have been to score? Right? Because I don't think. Because let me say this.
When I noticed that they were in the ascendancy, at that point in time, Bernardo Silva was losing the ball in the midfield so often, and that's why I say he didn't have his best of games. I don't think he had a terrible game by any measure, but I don't think he had his best of games.
So let me ask you this: so if Bernardo's losing the ball and you're thinking of changing it up, your thought is to bring on Mahrez or Foden?
I was thinking Foden, not because he would lose the ball less, but at that point. So the reason why I think Foden versus Camavinga would be a better battle.
I want to hear it.
Let me explain why I think that.
Go ahead.
Foden is going to attack him with pace. You know, when Foden is on that right wing, similar to that Newcastle game when he just came back from his injury.
Oh yeah, we love the directness.
He was very direct. He was running at I think Dan Burnett was. He was running at him like every time he got the ball. He just got it, look up, and he just went inside. He can go inside, outside. He's confident either way on that right hand side. Bernardo, however, is more likely to slow down the play in front of Camavinga. And as a CDM playing at left back, Camavinga is going to be a lot more solid defensively than a Ferland Mendy would, in my opinion. So if you're going to slow down the game against him, you're giving him a better chance to react to you defensively versus if you get the ball and you're going at him directly with speed and pace. So Mahrez, in my opinion, would have been very similar to approaching wise to Bernardo Silva. But Foden would have been a roll of the dice per se. So that's why I wanted Foden to come in for a different alternative when it seemed like we weren't getting a goal. And before that KDB shot, we didn't take a multitude of shots from outside the box. So I was just thinking, like, give us this roll of dice, Pep. Let's get maybe a 1-1. So even if they do score another one, it's 2-1 versus 2-0. But I'm very happy with like the fact that he stuck to his guns and we left there with the 1-1 result I initially wanted. So I'm not really complaining.
I mean, Blue, good looking out. I wasn't sure of this news, but Zinchenko and Saliba out for the rest of the season. I was familiar with Saliba being out, but Zinchenko, that's a new one. And shout out to you for that. General in the building. Dre P goes, the thing is, City just need to win one CL. And then the fans and club will calm down and most likely will go on to win quite a few in the next few years. Dre, I know that first one, man. That first one, you see, I'm stressing out, man. That first one is stress. But we'll get there. We just need to continue to play smart football. Play smart. Don't do things out of desperation with regards to signings or pursuits to try to win this thing. The way we've been building, we're gonna win one. We're gonna win one. Sean goes, if KDB hadn't scored, then Pep may have used subs. A draw was an acceptable result, not having to exhaust the players. You're exactly right, Sean. And I said this in the space. I think Pep had players warming up, right? We saw Foden, we saw Alvarez. I can't remember who else we saw. I think we saw Mahrez. I think we saw all three of them warming up on the sidelines. And it was like, one, managers do play games to have players warmed up, to have the manager thinking, okay, I need to change things up as well. But I think, two, when he saw that we had the equalizer, he's like, you know what? Let me see how these players continue to manage this, and we'll close out the game. And again, we'll go back to the original question. I think Pep also made no subs because it's like the players that aren't coming on, I'm going to need them in this Everton game. I'm going to need them in this Everton game. And I want to keep this show kind of short because, like, True City fan, PitchPoints, they're about to go live. If they're not, they're about to go live shortly if they're not live already. So I want to make sure that you, fantastic audience, you guys supporting me, we're also able to hear content from them as well, because not all of you are on your computers, can open up 2 browsers and have both channel support. If you can do that, would love it. But if you can't, I'm gonna try to wrap this up real quick. So let me try to put this on screen. With regards to the no subs, let me take this off and let me do this. Vader game. So I'm gonna say this and maybe I'm talking to you guys and you guys are in agreement, or maybe you guys disagree. You know what I mean? I'm gonna say I, right? I'm not even gonna say we. Let me stop that. I don't want to choose between the Prem and the UCL. I don't want to. A three-peat is on the table. I don't want to choose whether I want a three-peat and the UCL. I don't. If you guys do, let me know in the comments. That's cool. I'm not judging you for it. But I want both. I said it earlier. I want my cake and I want to eat it too. I want the Prem. I want the UCL. Okay? The fact that we can have the season end, then there's a week later is the FA Cup, then a week later is the UCL. I want to win the UCL. But I don't want to forsake. I don't want to abandon. I don't want to say, been there, done that with regards to the Premier League to win the UCL. I don't want to do that. All right? I know Real Madrid, they gave up on LaLiga. I don't know how many weeks ago. And I hear from their fans, they won it last year. They won it before. They want their 15th UCL. I don't want to get there. Guys, I know I don't even have my first UCL. I know. But I don't want to get to the point where it's like, imagine us saying, United, win the league, win the Premier League. We're going to go win this UCL. Are you kidding me? Guys, please, let's, in the chat, those that agree, those in the chat, let's agree, all right? So let's make a promise, pinky swear, whatever it is, all right? We're never going to get to the point where we forsake, where we say, we've had enough Premier Leagues, let's go and win this UCL. Please, let's not get to that point, all right? If you're in agreement, let me know in the chat. Let me go to the comments. I don't ever want to be so big of a club to where I don't want to win any more Premier Leagues. I don't know if I'm crazy, if I'm being too simple-minded, if I'm being small. Is that small club mentality? That's it. Clinical.
I think it might even be a bit of entitlement, to be honest with you. Like you're to that point where you have the opportunity to go for this trophy, but you're then saying, I don't need this right now. I'm gonna have the chance to win this again in the future. Pep doesn't have that mentality, as we can clearly see. From the day he's come in, he's always wanted to push all the way or as far as possible in every single competition. Even in that Liverpool game where we had the FA Cup 3-2 last season, I don't think we threw that game away. Personally, I think Pep set out to win that game based on what we had available. I think Gundogan didn't play because he had a back injury at the time and KDB was exhausted because of fixture buildup. So the team that he put out, with the exception of maybe you could say Ederson could have played over Zach Steffen, but he was a cup keeper. So I think Pep wanted to trust him and then like honor his promise of giving him the cup games. I think that the team we put out could have definitely went on and win that game. And we have to also realize that Liverpool were in a better position to put out a full team than we were, because they had their UCL tie wrapped up. So I don't know. I don't think that is the right mentality to have as a big club. Like even when Real Madrid won their double last year, they won the league by like 11 points.
Yeah.
So they weren't.
In all fairness, Barcelona were not at levels at all, so they ran away with it. But but this is what I want to say. And again, I'm a parent. I got 2 kids, and maybe for those of you not at that stage yet, maybe you don't understand the reference. But what Julian just said here, everything is ours, mine. 3 blue hearts and 3 sharks. If you've seen the Finding Nemo animation, there's the seagulls, right? And whenever there's like a fish, something around, like the seagulls are just mine, 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 mine. Like they're single-minded like that. Kill me. That's what I want. That's what I want. I want the league. I want the Premier League. I want the Champions League. I'm not choosing.
I don't even want to throw the FA Cup. I want the FA Cup too. I want all of them.
That's what. Hey, I'm on the right track with what you're saying. I'm in agreement with that one. McLovin goes, had a great workout. Time for some studies, UCLEs. Yo, McLovin in the building. Trust me, the studying doesn't stop, right? Even though we're handing in our assignments, we're getting great marks on it. Still the one final exam coming up. McLovin, I hear you, my guy. I hear you. Let me go to the next comment. Beep in the building. He goes, want it all. I want it all as well. All right. And when we pursue to win it all, we play at a level. We raise our game. We have every player knowing that they play a role. So everyone's on the same page. We need that. That's how you get these type of results. I'm amped for it. Sean goes, agree, go for everything. It's about winning games one by one. That's just it. And we're going to talk about this next game in front of us. All right, we're going to talk about this next game in front of us. Daniel goes, I want the next game. Everton, one game at a time. Daniel, man, we're on the same page a lot. I respect that. Next game up. Next game up is Everton. We play Manchester City football. We win this game. But now maybe we get into the minds of what may be the 11 that Pep may choose, right? I think the fact that we play on Sunday and then we play again on Wednesday, and again, we're going to travel from Everton back home, but we're going to have Sunday night at home, Monday recovery, probably Tuesday prep, and the players are definitely going to be watching the Champions League, and then we play on Wednesday. Let me put up what might be the formation here. Let me see if I can do that, and we'll talk it through. Maybe I started. 1 second. Should have had this set up, guys. Apologies. Okay, let me put this on screen. Boom. It's like magic. All right. Oh, it perfectly fits as well. Let me see. Yeah, there we go. All right. So what are we saying in the comments? What are we saying? Haaland starts, right? Clinical. Haaland starts.
Yeah, I think Haaland starts. I don't think he's even feeling too much of the fixture yesterday because
I know.
we didn't really get him in the game in the second half. So I think Pep will go with him again.
He wasn't running up and down that pitch. He wasn't getting into any collisions like that.
And as much as the second leg is a massive, if in my opinion, if this second leg is a 10 out of 10 importance game, this Everton game is a 9 out of 10. It's right up there with it. This is a must-win.
Oh, this is a huge game. This is a huge game.
So I don't think Pep messes with the lineup too much.
Everton's the most important game. Most important game for many reasons, because we got available bodies that we're going to have to make sure we negotiate. We're going to have, player roles that are going to be key, because I think players might be asked to do something different in a way, being ready to play in Champions League. And then it's the rest factor. It's the mileage that some of these players have. So we got to keep this in consideration. Grealish put in a shift. Last game, and I can see the fact that he did put in that shift. I don't think he gets dropped for Champions League. I don't. What he was able to do against Carvajal, I think he'd be a little more assertive. I think he's going to know how to get the best of him with how he was being defended now. I think he's going to start again. So I would actually give him a rest. I would give Grealish a rest. I would start Foden. What do you think?
And that's fine, because we have that option on the wing, especially. I think we could get away with putting Foden left and Mahrez on the right.
I'm with you.
And then still have those options on the bench as well to come in and affect the game if needs be. And how I expected Grealish to go at Carvajal on Tuesday,
Mm-hmm.
He didn't necessarily go at it as aggressively as I thought he would, like you mentioned. But I think Pep might be saving that aggression for the home leg. So I
Yes.
do think that matchup is again going to be a key one that I'm focusing on next week. So the rest for Grealish would definitely be on the cards.
So Daniel goes, and I have to put this out. He goes, Vader, we're on the same wave. That's what I'm talking about. Focus on Everton. Do people actually realize how big this 3 points are? Going potentially 4 points clear with 3 games to go. This is what I'm saying, Daniel. This is what I'm saying. We just handle our business. We get these 3 points. And again, we play our style of football. It's calm. It's actually calm. And the fact that Pep did make those subs, he's got those bodies available to start this game, right? Or be subbed on very early as well if we handle business early. So at right mid, do you think this is a case where he rests KDB and we bring on Alvarez? I think, yeah, KDB put in a shift. I think the control that we may need in this game versus Everton, he actually starts KDB, but KDB maybe plays 50 minutes. What do you think?
So for me, I think resting KDB would more be from a protection standpoint, but whereas we're looking at it from a fatigue standpoint, I think Gundogan deserves the rest more and needs the
I think
rest
the
more.
biggest rest is
So
Gundo. Yeah.
I'm like Martin said, it might be in hindsight that collision with Rudiger, but from that point forward, I don't think he was really into the game that much. So
Yeah, he was a little off a bit with some of his passes, and even how long he held on to the ball a few times. But I would say if we're thinking midfield rest, right? This might sound crazy, but I think we could actually get the quote unquote control needed with KDB playing.
I would put Bernardo Silva next to him, honestly, because
Silva and KDB in the midfield, and
I'd be more inclined to start Foden next week Wednesday on the right. I'm not mad at Bernardo Silva starting on the right, but at home, I'm thinking back to that leg.
Okay, no.
Leg.
Okay, no.
So
You're getting
that's
too far
what
ahead.
I'm thinking
Clinical.
about.
I
What I want
I
from
gotta
the
stop
team.
you. No, I gotta stop you.
Let me wheel back. We're focusing on Everton.
Yeah.
So I think Bernardo and KDB can give us that same control or similar control to what we would need, and still be strong on the transition.
Yeah, because I'm thinking
Bernardo, KDB, Rodri is what I would say.
Yeah, I agree. The reason why I say that is because I think as a collective, they would minimize the amount of running they would have to do. If those three, they're going to be in the right spots. They can move the ball around them. I don't think Pep would ask KDB to play so far forward like he typically can, because I think with Foden and Mahrez, he can have those guys hold the width and hold the depth in terms of attacking the opposing back line. But in terms of the midfield, not having to cover so much ground, if you got Silva, Rodri, and KDB, I think they work so well. They'll work so well as a unit, but they don't really have to clock those kilometers or those miles on those legs. So that's my thinking. That's my thinking. I'm gonna put KDB. You guys those of you in the chat, you guys disagree. That's cool. We'll have a combo here. We got Rodri. And then we also have Bernardo. We give more. Hear me. Oh, actually, let me put these comments on the screen before I move forward. Sean goes, Haaland starts, need to keep his confidence high, and we need to win. Facts. Just the problem that Haaland poses on the defense, right? If Sean Dice decides that he's going to do lob ball and he's just going to be so compact defensively, at least their back line, two, like Carl mentioned earlier, at least two defenders are going to be worried about Haaland, and that's going to create space. Daniel went so far as to call out his lineup real quick. He goes, I think it will be Ederson, Akanji, Diaz, Stones, Walker, back four. Rodri, Gundogan, Alvarez is who he has in the midfield. And up front, he's got Grealish, Haaland, and Foden. So Grealish plays again. Foden is on to give, I guess, essentially to give Silva a rest. All right. Zaina goes, I'll wait till you finish the stream. The stream again. I missed the beginning. Darn. Loved unpacking. Yo, Abdullahi, thank you so much, man. Thank you for tuning in. Agree, Gundogan needs to rest. Yeah, I think Gundogan needs to rest. KDB rested a whole week, also had 5 days rest. He can play. I'm not mad at that. And I think as a collective, those guys working together, they don't really cover as much ground. They're not, they're in the right place at the right time. Now, defensively, clinical, left back. What you got for me?
There's no news on Ake, so I'm pretty sure Akanji might come in again, or Laporte might play. I just don't think he will. So I'm gonna say, I don't think we make much changes to the back line.
Yeah, I think
out of necessity.
I think Akanji plays. We could see Laporte at left center back.
Have we ever played with a back line like that before? Akanji, Laporte, Diaz, and Stones or Walker?
Have this season? I don't think we have. But we give Stones rest. We have Walker, but we don't obviously Walker doesn't play inverted. Or do we, guys, or do we rest Walker and we have Rico play? Oh, no, we don't. This is a tough one, man. That's a lot of changes, so maybe we don't do that. But I think Laporte.
I don't think we'll see Rico this game because Everton is a very aggressive team. And Pep was worried about that against Spurs when they were bullying him. I think Pep would be throwing him deep into the fire if he starts against Everton.
So, but I don't want. I need Walker's wheels, man. I need. So do we go Diaz Stones? Diaz Stones to rest Walker.
Kanji, Laporte, Diaz Stones. I think that could work. That's still a very strong lineup.
Yeah.
But I don't think we invert if we start like that.
Good call. I mean, between the reason why, and again, we're in a tough spot. In the comments, we're in a tough spot because I want to rest Walker, but I also don't want to overwork Stones because I don't want Stones bombing up and down that pitch either.
He's injured growing.
Yeah, because we're gonna need that. We're gonna need him. So, but that back line can deal with anything lobbed over, like any type of, long ball or crosses. The height between Akanji, Laporte, Diaz, and Stones that works. That works for me. And build up play, we can get good passing from Akanji, Laporte, as well as Stones. If maybe not the majority of the game, but maybe Stones does move into that inverted role at times, just in terms of possession, because I think we're going to dominate possession. Right. So I think we leave it at that. I'm going to ask you this, though, Clinical. Looking at that lineup, who do you think is the first and second sub?
So if the game goes well, like I think it will be.
Yeah, the game goes well. We're in control. Let's say 2 goals up.
I think Rodri and KDB get off before anyone else.
Rodri, KDB, first 2 subbed off. Okay, so if you subbing off Rodri, does that mean Phillips makes a cameo?
It's funny you mentioned that because
I had to, man.
I've bought heavily into the Calvin Phillips stock, and I will have a video coming up shortly with all my detailed points on why he deserves more time. So stay tuned for that. I will definitely have that coming up very, very soon.
Clinical dropping you with a little teaser, a little preview. So stay tuned. Make sure you're following his channel. His channel details are in the description. FIFA goes City Extra talking about Rice joining FGS. What? Or do you mean FSG?
For God's sake. That might be it.
Wait, City Extra talking about Rice joining us? Nah, man, nah. We're not spending big like that on.
I think 100 million for 1 year left on his contract is a little bit crazy. I wouldn't be going in for that
FIFA.
deal.
Nah, I'm not buying that one. Nah, man, nah. Daniel goes. Oh, Daniel says. I mean, FIFA goes. Yay. I'm not sure if that's in reference to. But sorry, Daniel goes. We haven't seen that backline all season. I don't think Pep will play like that, and we need Diaz. He is the leader of the backline. Pep won't bench him. Yeah, Pep won't bench Diaz. And maybe it said that before. I kind of. So wait, you guys don't think this back line would play? Huh. Maybe not. But this is what I'm thinking versus Everton in terms of available subs. We got Rodri, we got KDB, and we got Silva. I think those are the key players that would need to be subbed with us controlling the game. All right, those would be the key players needing to be subbed, and maybe these guys know get the 3 goals. I think 3 goals. Pep's going to be a lot calmer with making subs if it happens to put Phillips in that at DM. But that's the 11 that I'm going to.
To be honest, I think if we go 2 goals up, I think KDB and Stones would be off before Rodri is. Because Pep has proven that he's not putting on Phillips with only a 2-goal lead. If we get to 3, then he's very much more likely to feature.
You're right. Did I tackle all the comments today? So we went and we discussed City 1, Real 1 at the Bernabeu and how things have changed. City getting the respect from Real Madrid on how they defend against us. Vinny Junior and KDB's brilliant moments, the goals. We know that Haaland, Gundogan, and Silva are going to raise their level, play to their level, and a lot of it had to do with how Real Madrid defended. No shame, nothing to be upset about. They did a good job playing away and what the circumstances were. I expect that they're going to show us the same quality when they come back home.
Do you remember on your last show when we were speaking ahead of the West Ham game, I think, and I told you they might be choosing their battles with our game because there was a lot of news about them rotating and Souček and Rice being rested, which they were.
Yeah. Yes.
Both of them started against United.
Yeah.
And they won that game. So they definitely were choosing their battles. And I think Everton might be doing the same because if you look at their remaining fixtures, they have us, they have West Ham, and then they have another mid-table coastal relegation team, I believe. So hopefully they're looking at this game like a slight write-off.
Yeah.
Like if we lose this game, it's not going to affect us staying in the Premier League. So let's not throw all our eggs at this and then affect our performance in the other 2 games.
No, I hear that. No, you're right. Let me and this would have been discussed on CIA, and I want to apologize all of you in the comments and those of you that do tune into the CIA channel or show, I should say. It is on Beta Games TV YouTube channel, but it was hectic. And there was so much content as well, and I wanted to give everyone that I partner with, the time. It was just going to be too much of an overlap. But we will be back, CIA, this Sunday. It's Mother's Day, so I got to navigate a little bit. But this Sunday, we will have CIA 9 p.m. UK time. And those of you, I guess, on this side of the world that celebrate Mother's Day, I understand if you guys are going to have to watch me on the replay, not watch me live. But Everton, they play us, obviously, Sunday. Then they play Wolves, and then they play Bournemouth. So... And they play, actually, every game is 6 to 8 games. So 6 days later, they play Wolves. 8 games later, they play Bournemouth.
Right.
Now, they're going to play us hard. They're going to play.
They just had a huge result against Brighton as well.
Yeah, they did. But
Wolves, I think, are basically safe already, and then Bournemouth as well. So both of those teams are on the beach.
That's true. But if they, who can Leicester leads? It's tough. It's tough because Leicester leads are at 30 points. Everton are at 32 points. So, and I don't. You know what? We're gonna have to do a proper breakdown. But I think Pep's gonna be layeth the smacketh downeth on Everton, the 2-3 goals, and look to do, like we always say, a professional win. Conserve as much energy as they possibly can to be ready for Champions League. And we know Sean Dice, the same way that Sam Allardyce was talking. Sean's got an ego. So Sean Dice has an ego. It's going to be, I think it's still going to be a tough game, but we'll do our thing. Sorry, FIFA goes, he's serious. He's serious with regards to Rice. I'm not mad at that. But we tackled all the topics. We had a great show. We had fantastic features from Clinical.
Can I just touch on one more thing?
We're going to, 100%.
Okay.
Clinical was able to join at his channel or in the description. Martin Mancunian Way. Make sure to subscribe. PitchPoints, Carl Gundogan, you go by his many names. Subscribe to his channel. And True City Fan made a cameo, and he's got a show that we're all going to check out after this. But this is important, and I wanted to save this for last to have a proper combo. It did not make the topics list, but it deserves to be talked about. Because that game, that first leg against Real Madrid, you need not only great players in the field, you need a great player in the net. And he often gets overshadowed. He often gets dismissed. He often gets just, I think dismiss is the right word. It's, he's expected to do that. But the man Ederson came up with some huge saves. I praise him often. And I defend him because of how he gets attacked by rivals mainly. But Clinical wanted to also stress, with regards to this show, let's not forget to talk about Ederson. And I'm going to throw this to you, Clinical. With regards to what we saw in that first leg, what do you want to emphasize with what we saw from Ederson in that game?
So I just want to say, when it comes to Ederson's performances, your first point of reference should be City fans and other Blues. Do not listen to rival fans because agendas will agenda. They are some of the first ones that will get on his back the moment he makes any form of mistake. And it even goes down to nitpicking, because that Vinicius goal, I don't think he's to be at fault for that. Because that was hit with a lot of power. Like you said, I think he took one touch and just hit it outside the box.
Yeah.
If you're going to blame Ederson for saving that, Courtois should be blamed for saving KDB shot, because both of them were they were stunners. And you just have to give it up to a good goal sometimes. It's not always a goalkeeper's fault.
Mm-hmm.
But Ederson always, even off our own fans, gets slandered for making errors. And the respect is not the same when he has great performances. Because both of those great saves that he made in the game, if we concede either of those, we're looking at a completely different result, and we're looking at a completely different game
approach
on Wednesday.
Yes,
so
exactly.
Those two saves, who I think the same rival fans who slander him would look at those chances and say, oh, he's not going to save those. But he did.
Yeah.
So I think that he definitely, it can pass. It would be amiss of me if I let that brilliant performance get past and not have few words for him, because that was great. And seeing errors, because he has made errors in the past, seeing the errors that he's made in the past, I've always had the faith that when we get that first Champions League, he's going to have a big part to play in that run, because things like this always come full circle.
Yeah.
They always do.
Perfectly said. I think the thing is, he does get harshly criticized for moments that any world-class keeper wouldn't have made a save either way. So I think he gets killed that way. And the fact with regards to the goal, yo, Emmanuel, my guy, hello, citizens. Even with regards to that goal, if you've ever played keeper, even if you just messed around being in net at times, anyone that's dead center and they have their choice of going left or right, you're stuck. You're stuck. You're going to do your best to try to react, but if that ball is placed in those corners where even taking a step and jumping doesn't get you there, there's nothing a keeper can do. Ederson was phenomenal with the saves that he made, and even with him getting quick off the line in one instance, first half, I think a ball was played into Benzema, and he got off the line. And he was able to scoop that up. It's key, man, and he's going to be important, guys. He's going to need.
You know, I also owe you an apology, Vader, because I was in that space where you were battling all those rival fans, and I wasn't able to come give you the support, but next time I got you for sure.
All right, no worries, man.
So that I heard someone mention that his positioning was off. He should have been a little bit more to his right, so his starting position would have been better for the save. I would argue that if he made even one step over closer to that side, then left side would be absolutely gaping. And if Vinicius then scores in that corner, it would be a lot worse.
Yeah,
it would be a lot worse, and everyone would be getting on him like, "What are you doing?"
100%, 100%. That's the thing. And again, you said it. Rivals' agendas will have to agenda, and that's kind of what they do. They'll always have a counter for what the right decision is. But you're absolutely right. I want to thank Emmanuel for being in the building, and again, we have to give a proper shout out to Ederson. DC goes, "Hi Vader, hope all is well with you. Trust me, things are good. Thanks for tuning in." And he also shouts out all the Blues in the chat. This has been a great show. Great results that we've had with regards to Champions League. This 1-1 away at the Bernabeu. Now we're home at the Etihad, which has been a place where we have been so good. So good. Let me put this back on screen for people to remember. This is what we're going home to, guys. Right? This is what we're going home to. Expect a great show. But like Daniel said, we handle things with Everton first. And that is potentially going to be this starting 11. Oh, why didn't that show up properly on screen? Potentially this 11. Potentially. All right? Potentially. It could change. We know Pep could change. But here's kind of where I would lean. And first available subs would to be get KDB off that pitch. Rodri, if we can, right, goal advantage, but also Silva. Hope you guys like the show. Marvin goes, I agree, but I think Ederson lacks his what a save moments that we had in the past. Yeah, maybe. But we also know that teams cannot pursue us. A lot of teams have to fall back. They don't bring us that high press the way they would like to because Ederson is so nice. A man's so nice with those feet. But if you just tuning in now, please hit that like button. You want to catch the show in its entirety. I'm about to shut down. Catch it from the beginning. Drop a comment, drop a like, and we will be back Sunday. It's Mother's Day, so we will be back Sunday, obviously after City play, and we're going to have CIA, Intelligent Agendas, and we're going to have another show for you. This has been Vader Games TV, episode 82 of Why Always Me. My man Clinical. We had PitchPoints. We had True City Fan and Mancunian Way on earlier. Hope you guys are able to catch this moving forward. Bless as always. Catch you. Thanks, Clinical.
Thank you. See you guys.